Hi, welcome, welcome. I'm so glad you've joined me today. My name is Kelly Pitts, and I'm part of the Create with Kelly crew here in Lubbock, Texas. And I'm an independent Stampin' Up! Demonstrator and have been since 2005. So I have a lot of fun with that. And I'm glad you joined me, whether you're live on YouTube or live on Facebook, or if you're watching the replay. I'm happy to answer comments when I see them come up. So let me know you're here and what your questions are and all that. We're working on card number 6 in my series of my Create with Kelly Crew Pooh collection that is featuring the Silly Old Bear suite. And we are using a lot of the Sweet Words and Labels bundle, and we're using some other stamp sets I'll try to point out as we go through it. But thanks again for tuning in, and please share with your crafty friends. I appreciate it. All right, I'm going to switch the camera over so you can see a little better. Here's how this easel card works. It's kind of a peekaboo easel card with Pooh and all of his friends. It opens up so you can have your sentiment on the inside, and you've got one on the outside. You've got one right here. So we're in good shape. This is featuring the Hydrangea Hue color. That is one of our new 26 to 28 in colors. We have 5 new colors, and this also has the Golden Glow. That's one of our new colors. So I will show you how to make this card. And if you're interested in a PDF that's got all the measurements for all the cards, I should have that linked in the video below. But first off, we're starting with a card base that is early espresso, and this is 5.5 by 8.5, scored at 4 1/4, and also scored at, let's see, I was looking at my instructions. I may have to fix that. Looks like that should be 2 1/8. 2 1/8, because it's half of that 4 1/4. So 2 1/8 is where that scored. I need to mark that on my little sheet before I forget it. Okay, that's done. So this is how you make an easel card. Simple, simple, simple. You just fold that up. You've got that at the halfway point between the top and the score line, and you're going to fold that toward the score. Make sure that's all even. Use your bone folder to, whoop, sorry, that was probably loud. Yikes. Didn't mean to. And then I'll score that this way, burnish it, burnish the score line. Now that's going to sit propped up. And whenever you make an easel card like that, you'll just have to make sure that whatever strip this pops onto is put on with some foam adhesive strips, or the sides from your dimensionals, whatever you have handy for that, so it'll prop up. Okay, we're going to do a little bit of stamping. Well, first, let's go ahead and cut our scene that we have, the little picnic scene where Pooh and all of his friends are having a birthday picnic. Or in my opinion, it seemed birthday-ish, so we're making it a birthday card. And since this Hydrangea Hue piece is 4 by 5 1/4, then the piece behind it's going to have to be a little bit smaller. So we'll make this piece cut to 3 3/4 by 5. But first I'll show you the scene, the piece of DSP that it came from. This one has 3, 6, 7, 8 scenes on it. So we're using this picnic scene. And I've told you in the other cards, if you watch those videos, whenever you're cutting a piece of DSP, if you've got different scenes on it, always find the longest line. If you can go all the way across in the paper, that's where you want to start. So we'll go across that paper here, or across the paper here, and then you'll cut them into their sections. Hopefully that makes sense. So I've cut this one down. Now I've got to cut it to size the way I want it on the card. So I'm going to cut off that edge over there. Didn't quite cut enough. Let's cut a little more. Okay, and then we're going to have to determine exactly kind of where we want that before we cut this part off. It's going to have to be less than 5 1/4. Let's cut it to 5 1/8 on that side. So we just lose a little bit of tree, not much. Then I'm going to go back and cut a little bit more off of here to where we get it at 5. And that should fit just great behind our front, the Hydrangea Hue front. And you'll have a little bit of room where you can move it left or right just a little bit. And that's what we want. Okay. So that's all the trimming we need to do. And we've got another piece of Hydrangea Hue, and this is 4 by 5 1/4, just like the front. But you do need to be able to sandwich the ribbon between these two pieces, and this needs to be sturdy enough to stand up on its own and not show through the back of this hole here. So you can't really just do it with that. It would be too flimsy. So that's why you need 2 pieces of Hydrangea Hue the same size. Hopefully that makes sense. Okay, let's see if I need to cut some of the top off. You could cut the top off, but I don't think it's really going to matter once you get it behind this scene. So we're good to go on that. Okay, let's take, and I don't think I have my adhesive strips in here, but we're going to do all our stamping at one time. We've got Happiest Birthday Wishes. That is from the Phrases and Frames set. And we're going to stamp that on the scene. And it's probably easier to just lay this on kind of like you want it. In fact, you could go ahead and attach it if you want. But I'm just going to do this just in case make a mistake and I need to make a change. I'm not going to glue that. I'm just going to leave it where I think it's going to go. We're going to say Happiest Birthday Wishes in early espresso. Use some pressure, straight down, straight up. Try not to wiggle. There we go. Stampin' Up's good quality stamps and inks make this a fun hobby. Okay, now we're going to go with You Deserve a Little Treat. Let's find that. I thought I had it melted, but I'm not seeing it. I'm going to have to hunt that down. Okay, so we're going to go ahead and do the inside. We'll set that aside so we can stamp the inside. And we're going to go along with the birthday theme here and put May Your Day Be Filled with Love and Happiness. Because who wouldn't want that on their birthday? And I'm going to center that toward the top. Close enough. Okay, before I close that up, I'm going to try to find my You Deserve a Little Treat that came with the Sweet Words and Labels bundle. Oh yeah, I forgot I had to do that. Okay. And on one of the cards I did, I needed the You Deserve a Little Treat to be split up. So I split it up. You can cut your stamps. These are your stamps. There aren't any stamp police who are going to come and say you destroyed property. So what I did, since I needed it on 2 lines, 2 separate lines, I just cut it in half. So I am lining that up on my grid paper, and it should fit together exactly and line up, and then we'll just put it on a block. I will test it out and make sure it's straight. You deserve a little treat. See, no problem doing stamp surgery. Easy peasy. Okay, we're going to put this over. We're going to leave room for Eeyore. So I'm kind of auditioning my pieces here before I stamp. See if I've lost my little honey jar. Okay, you deserve a little treat. There we go. And this paper is the painted patterns paper. It's got stripes on the back. You could use that if you wanted a bolder stripe. You could certainly use that side. And we will clean this off and move that out of the way. I think we're ready to close that up. So all of those were done in early espresso. I really just think that shows up really well. And you want your greetings to show. You want people to know why you sent them the card, right? Okay, we're ready to start doing some gluing. Let's go ahead and assemble this piece. I'm gonna go ahead and put glue all on here. See if I can get this where you can see everything at once. That's a little better. Because once we get this on, we're going to attach the ribbon. We're going to sandwich the ribbon in between there. And do this on your silicone glue mat so it just wipes right off instead of doing it on your grid paper or on your desktop. And I'm kind of adjusting this to where let's see. I think that's about right. I want these little bunnies to show. That's kind of cut off a little bit, this little mouse, but the more of that you show, the more of this foreground you see. So we're going to cut him off so I don't see as much of that foreground there, because we're going to cover this part up with the ribbon a little bit. Okay, so we've got that where we want it. We'll wipe that little bit of glue off the mat. Easy peasy. Okay, now we'll use our stamping seal. That's what I prefer for ribbon. We're going to attach it to the side over here. We've got two pieces. Let me see which one. It's going to be this one. So if you got a kit from me, if you did a class to go, it's the shorter ribbon that you're going to wrap around here. Let's see how big this is in case y'all are wondering if you didn't get a kit from me. And you're going to do it with your PDF. That's about 7 inches. And the bow ribbon is about 11 inches. So we've got one piece that's 7, one that's 11 of that bordered ribbon that is the Hydrangea Hue. And I'm just going to put this right about here. Looks like I may need a little more, may need my seal to come a little further down this way. Okay, let's look from the front, not just where I'm not totally guessing. That is about right. So this to me is the easiest way to make sure your ribbon stays where you want it to, but yet you have room to adjust it if you need to. You can just peel that right back up if you got it in the wrong spot. So right now, that's good. And now that we have that sandwiched in between there, I mean, closed on the back, we can now sandwich it to the back layer of the Hydrangea Hue. And we're going to put glue over the ribbon too. You can use your favorite liquid glue or use Stampin' Seal for the back, whatever floats your boat. Everybody seems to have their favorites. So line that up on all four sides, and I usually stack it against the table like that and put it between my hands. Just make sure we get it all even and flat. How pretty is that? Don't you love this Hydrangea Hue color? It's the perfect color for Eeyore. And then our other golden glow color is the perfect color for Winnie the Pooh. Yay! Okay, just so this starts taking shape a little better, let's go ahead and glue this piece on. And just so you don't have to guess on here where you want it, you only want to glue it to this portion, and you're leaving a little border on the outside. You don't really have to top, but the sides and bottom, you want the even border. See, all the way around. But if you put it on the back of this paper, you're likely to get it too high, and then it's going to glue itself together. So you want it to be able to go like that. That's what makes your easel. Okay, so that's glued well. That's on there. We're going to put this on the inside like that one. And we've already got it stamped, so we're good to go. We can glue that. You always want to stamp first before you glue. So you have a do-over side, just in case. Okay. Now we've got the You Deserve a Little Treat that can be glued to the piece of early espresso that is looks like 1 1/4 by 5 1/2. Let's make sure about that. Yep, 1 1/4 by 5 1/2. Okay, we're just going to glue this flat to that. And the Painted Patterns DSP comes in all of the papers. Actually, the pack I have is the in color paper for 26 to 28. But you can also get it in the Regals and the Neutrals, Brights, and Subtles, all the color families. Okay, we're going to fussy cut this out real quickly. And when you're fussy cutting, if you'll just leave a little border all the way around, it gives you a little more room to make a mistake. If you're trying to do it exactly on the line, sometimes you're going to be inside the line, sometimes you're going to be outside. So if you leave a little border around, nobody notices if you go whoop, make a little mistake. And you can come in easily and cut a little bit more if you want that lid to show a little bit better. Okay, now we're going to use let me find my Eeyore. He ran off. He was with me moments ago. Did y'all see what happened to him? We may have to come back and find him in a minute. Let's see. He was already die cut. I bet he shows up any minute now. So we will. Where is he? Where is he? Come on, Eeyore. Okay, we'll go ahead and add our little honey pot, and I'm going to pop that up with a dimensional, and we're going to pop Eeyore up when we find him. Let's see. Let's go up a little higher so he's kind of there. We'll use our gold shimmer brush to make a little honey color on the top. And then I like kind of lining the top of the pot label with that golden glow shimmer brush also. Let me see what happened to Eeyore. Is he in my chair? Nope. Okay. Well, we'll come back to that. Right now, let's go ahead. I'm going to see if I can find some foam adhesive strips in here. If not, we'll just make some from our Here we go. Yay, we do have some. Okay, Kelly, where did Eeyore go? Do y'all talk to yourselves when you're crafting? Hey, Kathy, I'm glad you're here. I'm glad you like these cards. Yay. I appreciate your comment. Let me know you're there. Sorry I missed it early on. Okay, Kelly. We had Eeyore. And now he's missing. Okay. We're going to go ahead and put this strip up. And these are the foam adhesive strips. They come in about 11 inches or so. They're wider than this, but you need, especially this, the very top of this 1.5 inch piece, you need it to be straight so that when the easel is propped up there, it will also be straight. Let's see, about like right there. We're going to trim that. Because if you use dimensionals, you could get, you know, if you use 3 dimensionals and one was lower than the other, it's only going to touch 2 of them. So you want it to cover the whole shoot and match there. Okay, that's fairly close to being straight. And then we're going to do the same thing on the bottom. The bottom is not as critical. So let's just use, I'm going to use these 2 pieces. Since you're not propping it up, propping the easel up on the bottom, you're just trying to keep this even spacing. So we're just going to use these little scraps right here to finish this off. But since these aren't lined up exactly, we want to make sure those stay on the bottom. Whoop. Jumped out of my hands. Okay. Oh, dang. And I had it upside down. Of course I did. We're going to have to straighten these up, people, because we want them, like I said, we wanted that to be in a line, but I forgot I had already put that on. Do what I say, not what I do. Right? We've heard that before. Because I made sure the bottom was straight. Hopefully this will work. We will see. Then we're going to line this up. It goes all the way edge to edge and at the bottom of the card. So you need it lined up on 3 sides. Can you see here? All that should be lined up. Now we'll see how that props. Yep, just fine. No problemo. We're just missing our Eeyore. Okay, and we've got to have our little bow. That is just crazy. Y'all saw me audition the piece with Eeyore. Oh, found him. He was on my stamp pad. He was hiding out over here with his little honey pot. We're going to pop him up also. And let's see exactly where. We don't want it too high on his head because that might be hanging off the top. So we'll center those. Larissa, it's nice to meet you. Thank you for tuning in. Glad you like it. I've got a bunch of other ones. Hope you like those too. I do have the PDF if you want to order one of those. Those will be linked, or they should be linked below the video. And it will have at least 10 cards. Probably I'm going to add 3 more to the tutorial. So you get all those for $20, and it'll give you all the measurements, and you'll have the links to all the videos. It'll give you a supply list for all the cards and measurements. So you can recreate the kit on your own. Kathy was one of the lucky ones who did order the class ahead of time. She couldn't make it on our Pooh party days that we had 3 of here in Lubbock. So I don't know, Larissa, if you're in the Lubbock area, would love to have you join us for some classes sometime if you're in the hood. But we do lots of fun things together, our Create with Kelly crew. All right, so we've got that little bow. Yay. We're going to use some glue dots on that. And we are almost finished. And you always take the ribbon or bow to the dot. And that way you don't lose your dot on your hands or fingers or whatever. Okay. Now we have our cute little bow up there. All we lack, we just need a little bit of Wink of Stella here and there. And I'll show you, I'm going to do, what do y'all think on Winnie the Pooh? Do you like him a little darker like this with the shimmer brush, or do you like him the original color? I'm going to wink these little rabbits and other friends. Here's Tigger, an owl, an Eeyore, all having a picnic with Piglet and Winnie the Pooh. Oh, and here's Kangaroo. Now I can't remember if she went by Kanga or Roo, which one that was. So do y'all, let me show you these. Oh, you live in South Dakota. Great. Great, great. Okay. Quite a bit different from Texas here. Okay, y'all let me know. Do you like the little bit darker, the golden glow on Winnie the Pooh? Or do you like him in the softer original and just add some Wink of Stella? Shimmer or not? What do y'all think? Kathy and Larissa? Kanga is the mom. Roo is her Joey. Oh, okay. I didn't realize that. Okay, Larissa says the lighter, so we're just going to use Wink of Stella instead of using the Golden Glow. Do a couple of those plates, and we are good. And I also have, I did this one, the embossing folder. I used the 100 Acre Woods on it, which comes in the suite. But on this one, I thought since it was a picnic, I thought that Forever Plaid looked cute. Which one do y'all like on that? Do you like the 100 Acre Woods or the plaid background? You could do it either way. Whatever texture folder you have that you like, that will be great. Yay. And we've got Eeyore here. Whoops, he needs a little wink, doesn't he? And if y'all will stay tuned, I'm going to grab a quick bite for lunch, and then I'm going to come back and do some more cards this afternoon for you to see with this suite. And they'll all be included in that PDF. And if you need any supplies for this series, I'm happy to help you. Here's one flat. All right, I'm going to switch the camera over. Oh, Kathy likes the plaid. Okay, cool. I will switch this over so I can say goodbye. And y'all have a wonderful afternoon if I don't see you in a few. But hopefully I'll see you shortly. Okay, we've got happiest birthday wishes. You deserve a little treat. And you open it up, and may your day be filled with love and happiness. So I hope y'all's day is filled with love and happiness too. Lots of fun times ahead. Come back and see me in a little while. All right. Have a great day. Fun times ahead. Bye-bye.